Hello, everyone. This is your girl Anna Hill with Officially Unofficial, and today's topic is about diabetes and our GI health, specifically for us women. My guest today is Kelly Springer, and she is the owner of Kelly's Choice. Here we go. Hello, Kelly.
Hello.
How are you, girl?
I'm great. Wonderful.
That's awesome. So, you guys, we're just laughing about it because we just went live, but we went on my personal page and we're going on, and I'm getting messages. Hey, where you at? Now we're back. That's why we're having fun right now. But anyway, we are going to be talking about something very serious, which is diabetes and what happens to us when we have it. So, Kelly, first of all, before we go through that, let give them a background of yourself.
Yeah, so I was just saying that I started in the nutrition field at 17 because my aunt was a dietitian, and I was able to see that she could use her degree both at home and at work. And it was really enticing to me because I couldn't wait to start a family. I know, even at 17, I wanted a family. So I
It's so good.
and like really love kids. But I started in this field and it just fits me perfectly. I've been able to work in Cornell Cooperative and Hillside Children's Center with children and in bariatrics with weight loss. So I feel extremely fortunate of my experiences. And it wasn't until Wegmans where I was able to see that there was a huge need for nutrition in our communities. So
Wait,
that's why
how
I
do you
started Kelly's
how do you
Choice.
learn? How do you find out that there was a huge need by working at Wegmans?
So I was actually hired for the employees at Wegmans, and while I was standing, I would actually be like at a sample table, and the employees could come up and speak with me. And while I was there, customers would come up too, and they would say, "This is so cool. Can you come talk to my sports team, or can you come to my work site?" Or can you work with me privately? And I realized over those 2 years, I was getting kind of inundated with that question. And the thought to myself, like, there really isn't a resource in our community in this way of nutrition.
Okay, and it is very important because as we're going to find out, and perhaps as we all know, nutrition has a lot to do with how our body handles diseases and et cetera and et cetera. So Kelly, we're gonna go over
Mm.
with some statistics that you were sharing with us. Uh, Talk to us about this.
Well, this is a scary statistic when you think about how many people are living and dealing with diabetes. And right off the bat, I want to give you some empowering messages that people can actually prevent diabetes. And if you do have diabetes and you're watching right now, or you know someone who does have type 2 diabetes in most cases, like 95% of cases, is actually reversible through nutrition. So I want to just empower you in that moment to understand that fact. But it is an epidemic in our country, and we have so many people that have diabetes and also with pre-diabetes, meaning they're probably leading to the disease. But I highly recommend you getting your glucose tested by your doctor. And there's also a test called hemoglobin A1C, and you may have heard about that before. But what that means is that it's a blood test that is a 3-month test, and it's actually sugar molecules that are stuck to hemoglobins. And the reason why it's a 3-month test is because hemoglobins actually die every 3 months. So it's a really significantly good test for knowing if you have diabetes or not. A lot of times with diabetes, obesity is correlated. So if you are overweight or obese, we all hate using that word, but it
Mm-hmm.
is terminology.
Right.
But if you are in that category where you have that circumference in the middle, you are definitely at higher risk for diabetes. So
Understood.
those definitely is weight is definitely part of the condition.
Oh my goodness. All right, so let's
I
go
know
to
this is depressing.
I mean it is. The thing is, the good thing about it is that it is completely preventable.
Yes,
We can prevent it. So let's go
yes.
through a little bit, or this one that you share. That one was, got me a little bit so tell us about it.
Yeah, so this is where when we talk about type 1 and type 2, we really want to make that distinction. I actually wish that they would not call them the same thing. So type 1 is actually an autoimmune response where the body does not make insulin. Okay, so
Okay.
that's very different, and that's usually called childhood diabetes, type 1. It's usually comes out in childhood, and you actually have to take insulin. Your body doesn't make it. Okay, so that's
Okay.
you can't reverse that. That
Okay.
is an autoimmune disease. Okay, type 2 is very different. Type 2 almost always, and it used to be called adult onset because you get it in life from basically bad eating habits.
Mm-hmm.
But they stopped calling it that because so many children now have been diagnosed with type 2 as well,
That is sad.
which is
Yeah.
sad. It is sad, and it's truly always it's from what we eat.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I mean that, and usually, all those commercials that we used to see is like, oh, you are what you eat, and they will just put a donut, and then they put a donut on our behinds and stuff like that, right? Like those commercials we used to see. So they used to make it funny. I mean, why would they use a donut in our butts, right?
I don't know. That's where nutrition, I feel, and I'm sorry for this, I'm saying it out loud. Nutrition's confusing, okay? So
Yes.
told one day that this is good. There's all these foods out there that look healthy that actually aren't. It's a very confusing
One of
time. And
the statistics that you were sharing that got me the most is, I'm Latina, and all my family obviously are Latinos, and the statistics that you gave me, how, Latinos and, black and browns, we are more predisposed to having diabetes and a whole bunch of other diseases because of it. Why is that?
well, some of it can come through the different ethnic foods that are a part of your culture. So that's where, and we were talking before this
Kelly,
started.
Kelly,
I know.
you are not gonna tell me to stop eating rice and beans. I'm sorry. So you're not. I'm just gonna exercise and just anyway. I just wanted to like get that out and continue with your.
Well, the thing is, though, your rice and beans are actually really healthy. It's just understanding how much to have.
Mm.
And that's where we really get into portion sizes and making sure that you have the right amount of carbohydrates, the right amount of proteins that go in combination so that when you do sit down to eat, it doesn't matter if you, whatever, ethnic background you are, to make sure that you're getting the right portion. Okay. So that's where it's more important in the foods that you eat to get the right portion size. You make half your plate vegetables, literally make half your plate vegetables, you're good to go. If you can do just that, it honestly is going to make sure you get the vitamins, minerals, fiber, and it's going to cut down on calories, give you the nutrition you need. Just doing that simple thing of making half your plate vegetables is the easiest thing
All
in the
right.
world.
So now this is even more scary because I also heard that um the COVID affected us again, black and browns more than it affected any other race. Is that accurate?
It is accurate, and it is because of that higher diabetes statistic. So, people that had, there's been a couple studies now that have been released that people that had higher sugar levels, basically uncontrolled type 2 diabetes, were more likely to develop the virus, to also be hospitalized and ventilated, and sadly, they're the ones that had the highest death rate as well. So, it is true, and it is a sad statistic. Um, but again, we can do something about it, right? Because
Yeah.
this virus is still alive and we are still dealing with it.
Mm-hmm.
And in just 12 weeks with working with a registered dietitian and putting in some really good nutrition habits and exercise habits, you can actually reverse that type 2 diabetes. Just 12 weeks. So think about, because they're now saying, I know there's a lot of talk about COVID, but they're saying that there may be a resurge of COVID in the fall.
Let's not.
And
Let's not. Let's not.
I know
Oh my gosh! Like no, but if
you can
we
be healthier by then. You can
right.
actually reverse this and be on top of it, make yourself healthier so you can combat all of this.
COVID, I mean, the virus likes sugar. Is that why diabetes
Well,
have been?
that leads us right into digestive health. So the reason is bad bacteria, the bacteria that causes all the problems down in your GI tract,
Mm-hmm.
loves sugar. Loves sugar. So if you're feeding that digestive tract sugar, you are going to have a weakened immune system. 70% of your immunity is in your digestive tract.
So, oh my
Yes.
goodness, oh Lord have mercy. Let's see. Hopefully now that your next slide has some good stuff for us. Let's see. Oh, here we go. So we led on right to the GI disorders.
Let it right in. We let it
Oh,
right.
you know.
So, well, the other good news is you can actually change this gut biome around. So I want you to think about the digestive tract as basically like a tropical rainforest. There's a lot of different things that are happening there, trees, bushes, whatever. There's a whole host of different bacteria that live in this 30 feet of digestive tract. Okay, so it's this very diverse population. There's over 100 trillion bacterial cells that live in that area. Now, thinking about that, 100 trillion, that's more cells that are bacteria that we have in our body than we do human cells. Actually, 10 times more than human cells.
Wow.
So these bacteria are responsible for helping to manufacture vitamins like B12, B6, B3, folate, K2. They actually make vitamins. They help to break down food, metabolize medications. They do so much, and they even can regulate your metabolism. So the deal is with these guys, we have to feed them what they need. And what they live on is fiber-rich foods. And that's why I was talking about those rich, fiber-rich foods that come from our good carbohydrate grains. And your beans are in that category.
Oh, hey, you had to throw that to me. I love it.
So I have a question right here from the audience. Is wine fermented?
Yes. No. Yes.
Wait, they're asking.
So I don't know if the person asking the question knows me and that was a trick question. Wine makes me happy, okay? So
I mean, wine makes anybody happy.
So just to go back to digestive health, 90% of the serotonin or the happiness transmitter is actually made in your gut, not in your brain. So the thing about wine is a glass or two can actually be beneficial from all the nutrients and vitamins and antioxidants you're getting. More than that can actually harm those gut bacteria. So again, we get back to moderation. Yeah, so excessive amount of alcohol.
That is a really good information because okay, so if we're doing more than that, you know, we're already getting drunk, right? So it's just like overcooking our foods, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right. So there it is. So then her question actually followed with um at times, is it okay at times to drink wine? But you just answer that yes, up to 2 glasses a day, every day, it's fine.
Yeah, so there's actually been research on the ethanol that's in wine, so the actual alcohol, and it can help to lower your blood pressure. And also, as you know, there's different antioxidants in wine that can also help as well. And that's why I'm so healthy.
You look very healthy, Kelly. So you're doing everything right. All
But
right.
again, it's all back to moderation. Truly, if you start to implement this into your daily life, you are going to see changes and you're going to see energy levels increase. You're going to see your waistline come down. But I am big on 3 meals a day because I am all about maintaining blood sugar levels. So if you get a good fiber and protein source 3 times a day, about evenly spared out, or how am I saying it, placed out, it is going to help to maintain those blood sugar levels, and you are going to see an increase in energy and definitely a decrease in your waistline. Plus the hydration. I have 2 drinks in front of me now. I drink hot water all day long to help me stay hydrated. I love seltzer water. So you don't have to do just plain water all the time. You can kind of mix it in, put some lemons, lime, put some strawberries in there. But hydration is key. If you're not getting the hydration, you're not flushing out the toxins, you're not giving that gut bacteria what they need. So those are my 3 main tips.
But before we go into this, Kelly, is there a difference of either plant
based protein versus animal protein?
So there is a difference in plant-based versus animal. So there's positive and negative to both. The positive to the animal is that it has all 9 essential amino acids, which the word essential means you have to eat it. Your body doesn't make it. So when you have chicken or fish or animal products, they actually have and contain all 9 that you need. A lot of our plant-based are not complete on their own. But you just talked about rice and beans, and when you pair those two things together, it actually makes a complete protein. So that being said, so the positive for the animal that it is complete. The only drawback to the animal is that it has saturated fat. So if you get lean sources of animal products like a chicken breast or turkey, even all of your seafood, it's fantastic for you. Plant-based, the big positive of plant-based is that it has fiber, and we need more plants in our life. I believe that every dietitian will tell you she's plant-based or he's plant-based. 75% of your plate should be coming from plants, from grains, vegetables, and fruits. But I'm not a dietitian that excludes animal protein. I just eat lean sources. So the one drawback to the plants is that they are carbs. So just beware of how many you're getting in. But there's pros and cons to both. So it's just, again, it goes back to portion size and the education of what kind to get.
And you know what I like about you and your style is that you're incorporating everything in your
I do.
in your program. It's not just like, oh no, don't have this, don't have that.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what, have what you want, just measure it, just
Well, I
balance
think
it.
it's about sustainability. And I do believe I'm a dietitian that believes in eating everything. There's not a single food that I do not consume. It's just how often you're going to eat those foods and how large of a portion size. So when you get into the education of it, actually any food can fit in. It's just understanding how much.
That's it. Education is power. That's what they say, and I
It
believe it because
is. It is.
this has been awesome. So you guys, we're almost done. You guys have been so awesome listening to us. This is Kelly's information. If you want to ask her questions or get in contact with her, that's her information. Remember to exercise 30 minutes, your eating habits, and reduce stress. These actions are gonna help out. And Kelly, one last thing before we go, and let's close it with this because I found this to be very, very interesting. When you mentioned that you had a customer who actually measured her the impact that working out had on her
Yes.
sugar.
Yes. So, and I can say her name because she's been on TV with me, but Michelle Barber, she is so cool. So she went through the program with me, and her doctor actually gave her a glucose monitor. And I highly recommend it if you're worried about your sugar levels, to get a glucose monitor and start tracking what your blood sugars are doing during the day. It's actually going to make you more aware of how foods affect you. And Michelle also tracked her exercise. So she was able to show herself that if she walked for 30 minutes after her meals, she was able to lower her glucose level by 30 to 50 points after
That
each.
is,
It's incredible. So just
yes.
so you know, she went through our program 6 years ago and she is still off all of her diabetes medicines.
Good for her. Those are the success stories that are inspiring because, some people go, no, I mean, it's easier to get on insulin or on, because it is easy. But if we want to get off it, diet and exercise will do it. I
They
mean, that
will.
is proof. I mean, she is proof that it can be done.
Yes. Yes, and she's a busy working person. It's not like she's just sitting home making recipes all day. But she knows, and through the education, she knows now how to eat, and she knows that that exercise has a huge impact on her glucose
But
level.
this information, Kelly, has been amazing. You have been great. You know your stuff. That's awesome.
Thank you.
So, everybody, thank you so much for being here. We talked about diabetes and what it does to our bodies, as well as what we could do to help us out and not to be in those scary statistics, as well as our GI tract and how to help out. So just remember what they have repeated to us for centuries: eating and exercise. That's it, right? As simple as that. So
It's
Kelly,
simple, not easy, right?
right? Kelly, any last suggestions or comments for
I,
audio?
I just wanted to let you know you can go to our website at kellyschoice.org. We are seeing private practice people virtually. We have a virtual platform. We also go into work sites, so you can hire us to come in and talk with your group. We make it really fun, as you can tell. I'm not a boring dietitian. You can go to our website to do that. And also to let you know, a lot of private practice is reimbursed by your insurance company. So if you have insurance, almost always, especially for diabetes, it is a covered benefit.
That is great. That is really good. And you guys, if you need to get a hold of me, you know how to do it. You just need to go to Officially-Unofficial TV on Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube. Make sure that you follow me and that you click that like button and subscribe so that you can be notified when these awesome topics are gonna come up. So you guys, thank you so much for being here. Kelly, thank you so much for being here. You were awesome.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you, everyone,
Yeah.
for being on.
Of course. And hopefully I will have you later when this whole thing is over so you can give us some awesome recipes that you put together. That's
Would
amazing.
love it.
Yeah, right? All right, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. This is your girl, Ana Hill with Officially Unofficial. Bye.